So welcome to the Whiskey Hour podcast, where our aim is to educate, entertain, and please the masses with positivity and fact-based opinions on your favorite everyday topics. Oh yeah, and with a glass of whiskey. If you enjoy vibing with us, don't forget, hit the subscribe button below and stay tuned for next week's episode. Today we have a special guest with us today. He's a former 4-year NBA player, played 6 years overseas, has a master's in business administration, and he's currently a law student. Give it up for Joe Stevens, everybody.
The honorable Joe Stevens.
Honorable Joe Stevens. How you doing, brother?
And I appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate my classmate, my brother. Been knowing this guy since I was probably in 3rd grade. Jason sent me this beautiful bottle of Knob Creek, if you can see that. And I have a sip with you guys, man. It's a pleasure to be on. Looking forward to talking to you guys, man.
Man, it's a pleasure to have you. I know he's been hyping you up all week, so I'm ready to get into it.
Hey, you know it. Go ahead.
So Michael Jordan, The Last Dance is on TV right now.
Yeah.
For someone that actually played against him, what are your thoughts on the documentary? Can you explain to us a little bit what the era of basketball was like back when you played as opposed to how it is now?
Man, it's incredible. Not knowing, being a young guy in the league, not knowing you're playing with legends. You kind of know it when you're playing with Barkley, Drexler, and Olajuwon. But playing against Jordan, man, was surreal because I wore Air Jordans all through high school. So you wearing this guy's shoes as a high school junior and senior, and then you go to Chicago Stadium and you're sitting there in warm-ups. You go through it. You kind of see him on the other end of the court. You kind of glancing at him, but you don't want to be fanboy. So you kind of still.
And that's hard to do.
Yeah, but then the lights go out. And then it's like you hear the music come on, the Chicago Stadium. Dun, 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 dun. And, starting guard for the Chicago Bulls, Michael. And you're like, man, and he comes out like God. Like, it's like he's got this aura. Like he's glowing. You know what I mean? Like,
the second coming of Christ or something.
Second coming, he's glowing when he walks in. And then you're sitting there watching the game and, coach calls your name, Stevens, and you're like, oh, shit, I got to go play. There's a party that's competitive also. You want to compete. You know what I mean? You want to see what you got against the best. I don't profess to have played a lot, but I faced them a couple of times and didn't fare too well. I've got a video up on Facebook now of a play when they came here to Houston. Barkley, him and Barkley are boys, right? Mm-hmm. So we got a noon game. I think this is like in May of 1997, 98. And Barkley's like, yo, I kept him out all night. He get home till 4 a.m. He should be out of there, right? We proceed to lose by 20. Mike has 40. His 37th and 38th points was a lob. I'm guarding Pippen at the top of the key. Mario Elie guarding Jordan on the right block. Mike spins off of him. Pippen throws the ball over my head, and Mike does a one-hand alley-oop.
This is after a long night.
Yeah, the very next possession, he comes down, hits Mario with a fadeaway for 39 and 40. His night is over. I needed to have 5 points, by the way, right after that. Right after he checked out. But man, it's the difference between then and now, to answer your question. Those were grown men, right? These guys were 32, 33 years old, and I was 22, 23. Now today's league, the average age is 22. It's a lot of gangly, skinny guys. If you notice, you don't see the big, beefy guys like you used to see.
The Bill Lambiers?
Like the Lambiers, that kind of, you're not, if you get clothesline, you clothesline somebody. Hold up, time out, pause. Let's have a toast. Now Creek.
Oh yeah, just so y'all know, sipping on that Suntory whiskey.
Okay. But man, but I learned a lot. I learned a lot of tricks to the trade. How to. I grew up. I became a man in the league and had some great mentors in Clyde Drexler, who went on to do my first fundraiser for me. He hosted my first fundraiser for political office.
That's big time.
And you look at what's happening now. You know, Clyde, Hakeem. I don't know if Clyde's in the Hall of Fame yet. He may be. I don't know. But I know, you know, Hakeem, Charles, Rudy T just got in the Hall of Fame. You know, left the Rockets. I went to Utah. I played with the Jazz for a little bit. Then I played with the Grizzlies when they were in Vancouver. So, man, my time in the NBA was great. My time in Europe was great. Learned a lot, and then came back home to serve my community.
That's awesome. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Hey, if you don't mind, Phil, can I step in?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, first, I want to say thank you, Joe, for coming on this show, man. You know, I'm very proud, you know, of what you've achieved and where you come from when we were just hanging out with Sabu up on the driveway of your dad's house, shooting Sabu, baskets, man. You know. Yeah, you know Sabu. You know, that dude was a killer behind the three-point lane, wasn't he? That dude couldn't miss.
He was.
Yeah, man, was a killer, man. I never thought, man, my friend was going to be in the NBA, man. If I would have known that back then, geez, that's so crazy.
Who knew?
That's crazy.
Who knew? Yeah, Sabu was good. He just couldn't run and shoot. He could just shoot.
Yeah, he could just shoot. Hey, but you know what? Hey, sometimes that's all you got to do. You ain't got to do all that right. Hey, look, can you throw the three-point line? Okay.
Yeah, he was definitely a liability. Defense.
Well, yeah, he will be a little bit of liability on the defensive side, but all right, man. Let me go ahead and get these questions. I gotta pull up here. Let's see, man. All right, hey, my first one. Okay, Phil kind of already asked the first one. The second one I had was so who's your top 5 sports athletes, both past and present, taken into consideration?
Man, I'm gonna say first and foremost Muhammad Ali.
Yeah,
Muhammad Ali. Definitely Jackie Robinson, right? Jackie Robinson took down a lot of barriers for African Americans in sports in general. Of course, Michael Jordan. That goes without saying. I think Michael Jordan is the first billionaire athlete. You know, I would say Jim Brown, right?
Oh yeah.
Jim Brown tackled a lot of social issues for people of color, and he wasn't afraid to speak his mind. And I'm thinking, and God, that's 4. I'm gonna go with Tiger Woods last. Tiger Woods has transcended the game of golf, and he's despite his transgressions, I think we've all kind of watched him grow up. And I, in my opinion, I didn't see Jack Nicklaus play. I think Tiger Woods is the best golfer ever. So those are my 5 guys that are on my pantheon. That's my Mount Rushmore for athletes.
Hey, Phil, speaking of what he just touched on, we were talking about our Rushmore of athletes that we were going to put in our background, right?
That's true.
Hey, did you hear the man say Jackie Robinson? Because, hey, Phil, let me ask you this. Who did I say Jackie Robinson should be? Didn't I say that?
Yeah, you said put him on that Rushmore list.
I just want to let you know that North Shore people speak the same language.
Yeah, 45, man. Jackie Robinson played baseball in a day when it wasn't a game that was widely accepted African American.
Yeah, he had to go up against everybody, not even just baseball.
And he was good, man. I mean, this guy played on the Chitlin circuit. He made it to the major leagues, and he could have quit, man. I mean, you think about somebody that said, "Look, man, I don't need this, man. I'm taking all this abuse and people calling me these names," and but he had a vision. And, it almost makes me feel a sense of guilt. I had that sense of guilt in a couple of things in life. I have that sense of guilt in knowing how easy my path has been because of guys like him. We had it real easy, man. We had this luxury lifestyle, flying from city to city on private planes, playing in front of thousands of people, per diem every day, steak dinner every night, And then I have that same regret for not having served my country in the military. So, man, hats off to you guys. Because, when I went to Europe and played in Lebanon, France, Spain, Italy, Turkey, many of the countries I played many of the countries I played in, my teammates served their country. They had to. A lot of those countries, when you turn 17, 18, they were required to go to the military, And I'm not saying we should do that in this country, man, but I honestly, if I had to do it again, I would serve my country, man.
Well, hey, caveat that I think you are kind of serving your country because you're serving it from
I
a
think
different
about that
perspective.
sometimes too, but I mean, it's I'm a hands. Look, man, I'm used to being in the, I think Theodore Roosevelt had the quote, the poem about in the ring,
Right.
having face mired and actually being in the fight. I'm not used to being on the sideline and let somebody else fight for me. I kind of like fighting, so
I got
Well,
a question for you, Joe. Because so you spoke about your top four guys. They stood for the plight of African Americans. They stood up for social injustice. So how important was it, or is it for you to give back to your community, especially with all that you've been through?
it's very important, man. I think it's important from a standpoint. I think the most important thing is that young men that look like me see that there's more than one way to win, right? And we don't
mhm.
have to be rappers and athletes, right? We can be judges, we can be fathers, we can be husbands. We don't have to rob, steal, and kill to get ahead in life. So I think setting that example, taking my story of being a lifelong learner. I'm still in school, man, and I was an athlete. Breaking down those barriers of people looking at athletes as just big dumb jocks. Improving, man. We can be educated. We can be even keel. We're not these thugs and these killers that some people look at us as. And I think, more so than anything, it's about serving the community. I think when you really have a heart for service, for me, I have an affinity to my part of town, East Houston. I'm ride or die East Houston, man. I'm always screaming it everywhere I go. It's done so much for me. I feel it, my duty to come back and serve my community.
Hey, so let me ask you
That's
a question
great.
about LeBron James. Let's talk about LeBron James. Do you think his championship window is closing? And if so, how many more years do you think he's going to be at that elite level before he becomes just a okay level?
Man, it's one person that's undefeated other than Floyd Mayweather, and that's and that's Father Time,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
I'm undefeated, man. So you don't know when it's. I just feel like, man, Achilles, knees, ligaments, like you got a number, right? I don't know if that number is 1,257,000. There's a certain amount of jumps, right? Your body has. Like, look at Kobe when he did that little freak move and tore his Achilles.
Yep.
Like, your body, man, it's so think of it like a car. When you drive a car, you're gonna change your tires. It's only got so many miles before those tires are worn down. Same thing
Right.
with your body, man. I don't care how much money you spend on your body, you can't recreate your ligament in your leg while it's, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
eventually something's gonna go. Man, I think he's got about, I'm gonna say 3 more years. I think he's got 2.5. Well, you know what? This coronavirus may be the biggest blessing to guys like LeBron James.
Give him a break.
That
Yeah,
rest on that body.
Brooks Koepka. Brooks Koepka was coming off an injury in golf. Anybody that was kind of banged up right now, this is a blessing for him, man. Because so he may have a good 3 years left, 3.5.
Right.
It's a good thing you said that because LeBron has been touted to put millions of dollars back into his body, but like you said, Father Time is undefeated. So
yeah, you just don't know, man. And it doesn't take like a brutal. It's just a little freak turn here, a little twist there. Look at DeMarcus Cousins.
Oh yeah, man.
And he's just one after another, and you think this guy's just doing what he's done his whole life, but it just takes one little misstep, man, and you get injured. I was fortunate not to ever have any major surgery. I get some aches and pains here in my knees from time to time, but I never was really cut on. I never went under the knife.
That's
I was
good.
blessed, and because it's you're never the same. I always tell guys, if you can avoid surgery, dude, don't do it, man. Like, especially back surgery. I know guys that go in because I'm like, look, man, take some Advil, dude, do some yoga.
You'll be all right.
Don't go under the knife, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, you're never gonna be the same once they start operating on you.
Yeah.
Hey, so Clippers, Bucks, Lakers, who you got for the best team right now where we currently are before we had COVID hit us?
I like the Lakers, man.
Purple and gold, baby. Purple and gold.
Yeah, the Lakers playing at a high level, and they proved it. I mean, look, that 1 week, remember they had Milwaukee. Who else did they have that week? All of the top teams they had played in 1 week stretch here right before the break, and they won both of those games. And I think when they're clicking on all cylinders, look, man, you got a big two with LeBron and Unibrow. I forgot his name.
Anthony Davis.
AD. LeBron and AD. You can't. Those guys, man, are so elite. You know, I say guys like that. Like for me, I had to put in the time, right? I had to go to the gym every day, work 10 hours a day. LeBron and AD woke up like that. God just touched those guys with a tremendous amount of talent, with bodies that are unbelievable. And that's going to be hard to beat when it's playoff time, because the thing about them is they can play inside and they can play outside. They can run and they can play a half-court game. And the Lakers are long.
Yeah.
You got what's the kid's name that used to always be on Shaq and JaVale McGee.
JaVale McGee, Dwight, Kuzma.
Dwight. Can you imagine if DeMarcus Cousins was still there? Remember, they cut DeMarcus Cousins early in the year.
Yeah.
He was on.
Yeah.
They may
He's
bring.
just so hurt right now. I don't know if he's gonna be able to make it back.
He might be okay now. Like this time off, man. You know, look, somebody gonna want to sign that dude. He's talented, man. Him and AD were changing the game in New Orleans. They were running pick and roll with AD and Cousins. That's crazy.
Them two and Rondo, them three were a crazy mix.
A 4-5 pick and roll. Ain't nobody. Can you imagine Ralph Sampson and Akeem Olajuwon doing a pick and roll? Like nobody ever seen that like that.
And people forget both Cousins and AD can shoot from three.
Both of them can shoot. Both of them can handle it. Both they can get it off the glass and push it 96 feet, 94 feet.
A question, Joe, about the Lakers. Do you think they made a mistake in holding on to Kuzma as opposed to maybe Ball or Hart or one of those young guys, BI? Or do you think it was the right move to keep Kuzma? Because I don't know. Kuzma, he had that injury and kind of came back kind of slow.
I think BI, man, you should have kept BI. You see what he's doing in New Orleans. He just needed that chance to get loose. But you couldn't pay him. You couldn't pay BI what he was worth. So I mean, you had to keep BI, man. You had to keep BI. But man, so I'm gonna ask y'all a question, man.
Absolutely.
I'm in Houston. What's your take on Bill O'Brien?
That guy.
Bobo needs to go.
Come on, man.
He needs to go. You know, David Johnson. Why would we not pay Hopkins the money? Why are you gonna let a talent like that go?
Hey man, you know, you messed over. I don't know if B.O. coached. He didn't coach Andre Johnson.
No, he didn't.
But
nope.
We pretty much ruined that kid's career, right?
Yeah.
He played the bulk of his career with no quarterback. We got the best. To me, we had the best receiver in the league in Hopkins, and we had a top 3 quarterback. You know, with
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson. You had the. I mean, how do you get rid of one of those? Like to me, those two.
Randall Cobb. You can bring Randall Cobb in.
This is blasphemy in Houston, right? I thought we should have got rid of JJ and kept Clowney.
I agree with you.
See? Smart move.
So what do you guys go do? So Bobo, he drafts Blacklock, defensive tackle, Heck, offensive tackle, Reed, quarterback, and then in the 5th round, who cares? Some little wide receiver, Isaiah.
Well,
Cooper.
see, this is a prime example of when you have too much power. When your coach is the coach and the GM, he can't make the best decisions because this was a personal move. He personally didn't like DeAndre Hopkins.
You know what somebody needs to tell him? You're not Belichick.
Thank you.
Hey, Bill did some good stuff on that defense side of the ball.
Yeah, like I know you were around Belichick, but you need to make you don't have enough tenure. You ain't got enough strikes to make the kind of moves he's making. Like his ego is way bigger than his talent.
Oh, it is.
And it's all of the guys that come from Belichick's coaching tree. Because even Matt Patricia in Detroit, he had the same issue with one of his guys.
They come out with these big old, like, you know, like I'm from New England. Hey, dude, you ain't Belichick.
Thank you.
You need to make.
Hey, that's right though. You're right.
Listen, so it's guys that go to Vegas that win millions of dollars playing blackjack, right? They can make a couple of bad calls when the card's dropping. You got a 10 and a 6 and you hit. It's some guys that need to play by the blackjack book. Whatever the book says, if you say don't hit, if it says hit, you hit. O'Brien needs to do it by the book.
He's trying to wing it too much.
He really does.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to give him that one. He really does need to do it by the book.
Yeah, do it by the book. So, dude, if you're weak on defense and there's a good defensive pick the best defensive tackle. If you we got our guy. Okay, where do we need a DB. Go get it. Like this dude, man. He needs to go.
Speaking of bodies and speaking of decisions, speaking of Texans, I personally feel like a couple of things. Number one, I think J.J. Watt, I think they just abused him so much and have ruined him. I understand he wants to play offense, wants to play defense, but man, they just wait. I think number one, they way overused him, and number two, I think they try to put on too much weight for what that frame can hold, and I think it's just causing them injuries.
He's done. He's done. If you look at his brother TJ, he's like a heat-seeking missile. I mean, he's lean, he's small, and I don't know if it's the team or if JJ did all that bulking up, but whoever did it, he's done. Like his body is beat to shit. He's done, and that's the thing, man. But he's done so much in the community here. Like with Hurricane Harvey, the guy is a first-class guy, but you can't get caught up in the emotions of it when you're doing, what's best for the franchise. And I thought Clowney had a lot more tread on the tire than JJ did. I would have kept Clowney.
Like I was telling Jason, he was like Clowney. He didn't have that many sacks, but it's not always the numbers. Clowney, his impact goes beyond the sack total.
You got to double him up every time.
Every single time.
But if you notice, JJ being a lot of single coverage, man. People are fearing JJ like they used to.
Nope.
Oh, I agree. And
maybe helping him too. This time off, maybe helping JJ. Like maybe he'll find some good HGH or something and come on back strong.
Hey, he gonna have to get some whole new knee ligaments to really make a full comeback.
Shoulders, elbows, knees, all of that.
Man, that poor man got injury after injury, left and right. I think he breathes wrong. That guy's got.
Yeah,
and like you said earlier, it's only a certain number of reps the body has before it just quits. And they have just exhausted him in reps. But I think more importantly, I think that team is what put the weight on him because he wasn't like that at Wisconsin. I believe that team asked him to play defensive and they asked him to put on that weight. But that frame can't support what they wanted him to put on.
No. And it's hurt. I think it's taking some years off his career, man. I really do.
I got a question for you. So what do you think about I agree that, if you got talent, okay, whatever, come from high school, go to basketball, what have you. But what do you think about all these kids that are just foregoing most of their college and trying to come in the NBA? I personally think it's ruining their skill sets. We got Jeff Green, who's going into the G League instead of going to college. I mean, what's your take on that?
Jalen Green.
I apologize, Jalen Green.
I think, man, it's everybody has their own situation, right? You kind of know if you're a good student or not.
Exactly.
And some of these guys, it's just like, so I served on the school board for 9 years here in Houston. And everybody's not a college student, right? And we teach that. We want everybody to be college ready. But some people go straight from college into the workforce. Some people go straight from high school to the workforce. Some people go from high school to the military. Some people go from high school to being a mechanic, plumber. They have a trade. Some of these kids, man, are not college material, right? Like the selfish part of us would love to see them go to college and we can root them on at our favorite university. But look, man, the kid sucks in algebra. He probably he's on a 9th grade level. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, so his best chance at making some significant money is via basketball. So why hold him back and make him go sit in classes when all he really wants to do is play basketball?
Right.
So I think, man, you got to make a choice. Would he get a degree if he went to college? Would he ever really finish? They don't ask ballerinas to do that. They don't ask tennis players to do it. I never saw what's the kid's name? The singer, not Justin Bieber, but oh God. Anyway, none of the singers, the young people that you see singing, they don't go to college. They go straight into the entertainment. They tour. We go rock them. We go cheer them on at their concerts. And nobody ever says, man, why didn't Beyonce go to college? Man, Beyonce went to college for 4 years, man. Nah, she chased her dream right out of high school. And we don't put the same – I think the machine, right, the money is in college basketball. And that machine puts so much pressure on you to have to go and participate it's like a pimp, man. I wrote a paper my freshman year in college called College Athletics Legal Prostitution. And the coaches, the athletic director, I went, why'd you write this paper? And it's like, 'cause we're getting pimped. Like, y'all are making millions of dollars, and we can't, I got to eat top ramen on Sundays because the cafeteria's closed. I'm not getting paid. So, man, I applaud them, man. Go get your money, man. Go chase your dream.
That's a good point you brought up, Joe. I'm just strictly playing devil's advocate here. So what about the kids who do jump from the high school, who try to go to the G League or something, but they're just not physically ready enough, so now they don't make it. So but now they can't qualify for NCAA because they already exhausted that eligibility by going to the G League.
4-letter word, loan. So like colleges don't say, hey man, you're 26, you can't go to school. Get a loan, and go to college. I'm 47 years old and I'm a 1L at South Texas College of Law. Dude, you can go to college right now.
Right.
Like that ain't gonna like you don't like we talked about so many jumps, right? An 18-year-old kid is in warm-ups in terms of jumps. Like you got a 4-quarter game, he's in warm-ups.
Just getting started.
He got a lot of jumps left. So why not start while your body is fresh, your body is good, you're athletic, and give it all you got. Look, man, college ain't going nowhere. You can always go to college. You can't always chase your dream.
That's true.
That window is from like 18 to like 33 if you're lucky. You got about a 15-year window to make as much money as you can doing what you love. And look, man, you'll know 5 or 6 years in if it's going to work out. And when you're 23, you go to school, get your degree by the time you're 27, and you're still good. Chase your dream.
Hey, speaking on that, though, look, NCAA, what do you think, going back to that, being pimped and things of that nature, what do you think? I personally think that if you're in college playing it, you should get paid some level. What do you think about that?
You got to pay them. You got to pay them something. I don't know how you make it equitable because at the bottom of the totem pole, you got the Grambling State, you got the Prairie View A&M, the Texas Southerns. Then at the top, you got the Dukes, the North Carolinas. How do you pay? Those are both D1 programs. How do you pay those athletes something that's equitable, right? Because it can't be the haves and the have-nots. It can't be.
It should be like a flat rate.
It's got to be something that everybody gets the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And certain schools, like Prairie View's games aren't packed out. Where does the money come from?
Exactly.
So I don't know how they figure that out, but you got to pay them something to make
Absolutely.
It. And then the guys that do sacrifice and go to college, you got to get them some insurance policies. You can project in 11th grade. They know the kids. You'll get a Ja Morant here and there, but by and large, you kind of know who your pros are going to be. Get those kids some insurance policies. So if they do go to college and they get injured, at least they get a couple of million where they can get started in life.
Yeah, they got something. That's a smart way to do business.
Yeah.
Hey, my last question for you is, hey, listen, Phil's not going to admit this to you, man, but, Phil is kind of rough in his basketball game over there in Germany. He wasn't exactly hitting the shots like you were, Joe. He was doing a lot of bricklaying. We call him the Mason.
Don't listen to him, Joe. Mason. How Jason exaggerates a lot.
Listen, we call him the Mason because he put so many bricks up there. It was ridiculous. He made Pink Floyd's The Wall. You know what I'm saying? Now, my question is, I've been kind of working. He did kind of beat me a little bit, but I've been really working. I've been working on my way I hold the basketball. I put my rotation. I think if we play a game of horse, I think I'll probably find Sabu when I come to Houston in May. I think we should have another rematch in your dad's driveway. I think I can thank you.
No, we can do it. I guarantee you guys will beat me at this point. You want to talk
I had to
golf?
wait till you got to 47, though, so I can make that challenge.
You want to talk golf? That's another story. But man, Jason, I'd be honored. I'd like to hear. I'm gonna tell you, man. I went to lunch. I got a chance to take Marcus Luttrell to lunch. Navy SEAL. He gave me a Navy SEAL coin. I'd like to hear some of you guys' stories, man. So if you guys ever make it to Houston, steak dinner on me.
Well, hey, Jason will be in Houston in a few years. I'm moving to San Antonio end of the year. We definitely got to make something happen.
y'all drive.
We'll definitely. Hey, Joe, when I get down there to Houston, I'll shoot you a text and we'll see if we can work out if you got it available in your calendar.
Love to take you to dinner, man. We got a social distance and all of that.
Hey, listen, I'll sit at table 1. You can sit at table 2, and you know, we'll be all right.
Dinner on me, fellas.
Hey, one thing real quick. You know, Joe, hey, I just saw not too recently on Facebook, man, where you and your friends had gotten some sanitizer and some hand masks for the hospital. I want to say, man, again, like I was telling you earlier, man, you know, you don't have to be in the military to save your country, and you do a lot of work for our community. And I personally, man, I see it every day, and I told you before, man, I'm proud of you, and I'm proud of what you and your organization does.
Thank you so much, man. It's a lot of times it's just me, Jason. I'm buying the stuff out of my own pocket, but God has blessed me, and you know, I see it as my duty to be a blessing to this community. And look, man, you got all of these nurses and doctors on the front line. You know, this coronavirus thing is serious, man. I've got people I know that have died. I know a couple of guys on ventilators. A good friend of mine, just by the grace of God, got off of a ventilator because a lot of times they say it's 80%. Once you get on the ventilator, you don't come back.
Oh yeah, you talking about termite?
Termite, man. I mean, so people are some people are beating it, some people aren't. I know some people aren't taking it serious, but man, look, I haven't ever known a flu season, and I've known this many people in the hospital. Like Scarface the rapper, they said Scarface the rapper. I thought he was gonna survive, come back. They said his lung collapsed last night. So I don't know if Scarface.
That's a ghetto boy right there. That's an old school Houston.
So man, I mean, and that's what people are gonna realize as this thing starts hitting closer to home. People are gonna start realizing shit. This ain't a hoax, man. It's a little different than the flu, you know. So anyway, man, y'all be safe, brother. I gotta get out of here.
Yes, sir.
No, thank you for stopping by, Joe. We appreciate it.
Much respect, man, you guys, and y'all keep it rolling. I'll be glad to come back anytime, man.
Yes, sir. Hey, you have a good one, Joe. Thank you.
All right,
thank
fellas.
you.
Cheers.
Right.
Cheers.
Hey, cheers, man. Don't drink it all in one night.
All right. Later.
Later. Hey, Phil, you there?
Yeah. So that concludes the Whiskey Hour podcast. We just had a special guest, Joe Stevens, on, everybody. Thank y'all for stopping by. We'll see y'all next week for episode 3.
Deuces.